Hey, publisher journey video of the day. Today, I'm about to publish one book that I just finished. It came out to about 334 pages, and yeah. So it's it's 60,000 words. It came out longer than I thought, but it's about speed reading, and I did still include images. Only about like 15 images, one image per chapter, but it's not really required for this topic. That's why I was able to finish this book fairly quickly. After this, I'm also going to test out doing another book. It's related to the art niche, which requires a lot of images. One particular book I'm working on is going to have about 200 plus step-by-step images. So I'm noticing like certain type of categories, some books it takes much longer time, and so I'm thinking about just, you know what, let me look at my top bestseller list right now from all the books I published, and I'm trying to see a pattern, trying to find the pattern recognition. And I've noticed three big categories that I can go into. One's in the art field, one's in another topic, and another one's in a different category. Three different categories. And just for simplicity, what I want to do is I want to do like 10 to 20 books for these three top selling categories of mine. And they will all require images, but one of the categories I'll share with you is the art niche. And there's a lot of books I can do with the art: watercoloring, spray painting, oil painting, etc., right? And today I came up with a list of actually 100 topics per category, but I want to start off doing about 10 to 20 books, starting off with the more popular topics for each of the categories. But I also realize certain categories are a lot easier to create books. Even if it requires images, it doesn't require me to have like step-by-step how to oil paint this canvas, step-by-step. That just requires a lot more work, as opposed to, I need an image, an example of this type of topic. Okay, boom. So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to start with the lowest hanging fruit. What's a hot selling category, but what's the easiest out of those in terms of creating a book, even if it includes images? And I already have one in mind. So what I'm planning on doing is do about 10 plus books in this category. And I've actually done a lot of books on this category, and it's done fairly well. So I want to do 10 categories very quickly and launch those books. And after that, I want to move on to the next category, which I have another list of 50 to 100 topics. I want to do 10 to 20 books on those. And then thirdly, I think I'm going to end with doing art-related books at the end, because it takes the most amount of time. And save the best for last. Each book is a practice for the next book. So by the time I do 10, 20 books for two of my three best-selling categories, the third category, the art niche, once I get into that, I'll be a lot better, including my team member, in terms of creating books and images. So that's something I have in mind right now. I'm not really necessarily using any software to find niches right now. I did a test. I found a niche using a software a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, at an event. But again, ironically, even though there was only one book in that niche, my book, which is a lot longer, it's about 200 plus pages, compared to the current competitor is only 34 pages. Surprisingly, my book is not selling. So like I said before, you never know what book is going to sell well or not until you put it up on the marketplace. That's the reality. So right now, what I'm leaning towards, I'm making another pivot, is instead of depending on the software, I'll use it down the line. I'm just going with the data. in my own publishing account. What are my best-selling topics and categories, and whatever they are, I want to do about 10 to 20 books per category for those, and just go down the list. You know, because I did that before. I just went with the bestsellers. I duplicated the books in terms of creating another book or complementary topics, and they tend to sell well. Maybe because I already have the readers, you know, and every time they see my best-selling books, you know, readers also bought. My books will show up there. So what I'm doing right now is just looking at the data. Whatever books are selling, whatever categories, whatever topics, I want to do about 10 to 20 books per category. So I'm not just going into any niche right now. And that's the tip of the day for authors and publishers. If you've done a lot of different types of books, look at your top sellers. What are the best-selling topics, best-selling categories, and do those. And the funny thing is, just because it sells well for me doesn't mean it's going to sell well for you, because everyone's KDP account is different. My account has the readers for certain topics, while yours may not. So that's why I also heard from going to a different event in Vegas several years ago about Amazon ads. People look at other people's Amazon ads stats and they think they can just do a book on it and they'll do well with the same keywords and whatnot. It doesn't work that way, because it depends on your own KDP and Amazon ad account and whatnot. So look at your own database. That's the best way to start in order to really scale your business, in my personal opinion. So that's what I'm going to do. Thanks for watching the video. Gotta go. Talk soon. Take care. Bye for now. Cheers.